This video will be about multiplying and dividing integers. The rules on multiplying and dividing integers state if you have the same sign, the answer is always positive. If you have different signs, the answer is always negative. And you can extend this into multiple integers, like if you have more than 2 you're working with. If you have an even amount of integers with a negative sign, the answer is always positive. And if you have an odd amount of negative numbers, then you will have the answer as a negative. So, even amount of negative numbers, the answer is positive. Odd will be negative. Odd number of negatives will be negative. But in this video, we'll do same sign, different signs. This is just an extension of this concept. So for instance, we have 8 times negative 3. They have different signs, so it will be negative, and then 8 times 3 is 24. A lot of times what I do is I figure out the sign and go ahead and write my sign first, and then I will work the numbers. So then I'm not forgetting my negative value if it is negative. Negative 2 times negative 5, they have the same sign, so it will be positive. 5 times 2 is 10. You do not necessarily have to place a positive sign in front of 10. If you just write 10, it's always assumed positive. 8 divided by negative 2. We have different signs, so we will have a negative answer. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Negative 18 over negative 8. 8 cannot go into 18, but what we can do is reduce our fraction. Now, the double negative here, that will actually be plus plus, or our answer will be positive since we have the same sign. If we divide by 2, then we'll have 9/4 as our answer. And we'll leave it as an improper fraction. 2 over negative 3 times negative 5 over 4. We work the fractions just like we normally do. These two fractions are both negative, so we will have a positive answer. 2 goes into 4 twice. If you want to reduce first, we'll have a positive 5 in the numerator and a 6 in the denominator. Or if you did not want to work your negatives first, you'll have a negative 5. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, and then you can reduce that down to 5/6, which is typically what I do. I tried to go that way and then I faltered, so 12 over negative 5 times 15. We can rewrite both numbers as fractions. So just put 15 over 1. A lot of times I like to do that so I know whether 15 is in the numerator or the denominator. Negative 5 goes into 15 3 times. We'll have a negative 1 in the bottom. It does not matter if you put negative 3 up here, just as long as that negative stays in one place or the other. 2 times negative 3 is, 12 times 3 is 36. Divided by negative 1, we'll get a negative 36. So even if you placed the negative with the 3, you'd still have 12 times negative 3, which would give you the right answer. So really that didn't matter where your negative was, just as long as you kept it. So 2 divided by negative 5 times 20. You can rewrite this as 2 over negative 5 times 20 over 1, so that we know that 20 divided by 1, we can still get 20. 5 goes into 24 times. I can go ahead and give that negative value to the 4, because essentially what you can do is say, well, negative 5 divided by 20 will give us that negative 4. Multiply across, we get negative 8. Seven times negative 2, they have different sign. It will be negative, and multiply 7 times 2 is 14. Just rework in some of these, or the integers. Negative 4 times negative 4 will have a positive answer. 4 times 4 is 16. So multiplying the dividing integers, you'll just have to remember that if you have a double negative, you will have a positive answer. If you only have one negative, the answer will stay negative. And this concludes our video.